Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Aegis webinar. First of all, I would like to thank you all the participants from Australia and around the world. It's a pleasure that we have your presence here with us, and it's a pleasure for that of mine to introduce you to one of our most exciting software release. I'm sure that by the end of this webinar, you'll be impressed with Aegis, like I was when I was first introduced to the software. First of all, I'll present myself. My name is Alessandro Dora, and I'm a senior mining consultant for data mining in Australia. And at the end of this presentation, you have my contact details on a slide that I'll leave on the screen for around 15 to 20 seconds so you can take your notes. And also, feel free to contact me regarding any information about this webinar or any other queries regarding our products, softwares, or any consultant service that DataMine can offer. So just a brief, Aegis is a software like no other on the market at the moment. It was developed after some years of research and improvement on the Dream Blast. And some of the main features that I would like to mention are the, I'll just go here through so that's pop up on your screen now, our DataMine Aegis webinar. So yeah, keep going. So the main features about this software will be the automated underground Dream Blast design, with a fast engine generating final results of your drilling. That happens very fast in a few seconds. Also, it's a very easy, the gain on productivity and time saving for Dream Blast engineers. So we save a lot of time during your designs. It's very easy and friendly, the interface and the manipulation, and also to export and report your drill holes and all your designs, and has also a database where you can set up your machines, you can set up explosives, and yeah, we'll take a look there a little bit more in deep through the software presentation. So first of all, today our presentation just covers some basic aspects. So it will be a basic project that we'll go through. We'll have a 3D interface and navigation. We'll have some drill rings generation, rings and holes manipulation as well, so you can see how the interface works. We'll talk a little bit about the database and take a look at some basic reports. So let's go through the software. Just give me a moment while I'll share my screen. So, okay, we'll just start with a basic project here. Of course, that is first information for you is that I have a pre-set up some drives and basic scope shapes so we can go through. First of all, I'll just start with a project name, and I just give for this one, I'll just call it webinar. And I select a folder where I have my wireframes at the moment. So that's the main screen of Aegis. So as you can see, we have a couple of windows in there where you'll be able to see 3D view, a couple of different hole layout views. So we have plan view, long section, and yeah, let's start. So first of all, I'll just import from my folder couple of my designs in there. So as you can see, that's quite fast. I just click on the folder that I want to update and show on the screen, and that straight away is on our screen. So some of the nice features of the software is that you have a three-dimensional tool. So you have a screen, and then you can navigate three-dimensionally through your scope. and that's very easy. Just to make it easier for us in here, I'll just make our development transparent at the moment. So I'll just change the transparency for all of them. Also, what I'll do is for my stope shape, I'll just change the color, and I'll just put a black color because it'll be easier to see against the background. So right now we have this basic design. So we have 2 levels in here and a stope. And today what I'll simulate will be using the main drive at the bottom, put a couple of rings on this main drive. And also I will simulate a slot design on the slot drive. Okay, so let's go through. First of all, similar to other softwares, you need to create a reference line, but what you see is that the process is way faster with Aegis. So just click on the reference line. And first of all, I'll select where's the Z point that I want to start this reference line. So I'll just click on that point. So it shows up a plan view now, and I'll select from where they start the line and where to finish my reference line. So for this line, I'll just call it main, because that'll be the main rings in there. Gives it OK, and that's done. So I'll just slightly rotate our model, and I'll create a second line in here now, and the second line will be for our slot. And so this one I'll call it slot. So okay, we have our lines, we have our development loaded on the screen. For the next step, before we go to drill our stope, I just need to classify each one of our wireframes that are open on the screen. So first of all, I'll get through my stope file and just assign the mesh type as stope limits. For my drive, I'll do the same, and this one will be assigned as a void. And the plane, that will be assigned as a void as well. So as you can see, everything has been assigned. So now we can go straight to create the rings. So next step, I'm just going to create some rings. And now is when you see how fast the software is. So first, I'll get my reference line, that's my main rings, that's what I want to generate. And then I'll select and click on upholds. As you can see on the screen on the left side where I have my model, that is I would call it like a online update. So as I change on my create new ring set on this window in here on my right side, it straight away updates my three-dimensional model, so you can actually visualize and see what's happening with your drilling. I'm just going to the pattern parameters in here and change a couple of things for this stope. So the pattern burn in there, I'll put 2.2 meters toe spacing. I'll put around 3.3 for this stope. It's a decent sized stope. So right now, if you take a look on the left side screen, all the holes are updated already. So as I mentioned before, one of the main features of Aegis is the automatically creation of your rings and also your holes. So that's fantastic. For people that have been using another Dream Blast package before, you understand very well what I mean. Another thing that I'll change here is my minimum color spacing. So put 0.2 meters. And right now, if you take a look on my left side screen, you see that my stope has all the holes pretty much finished already. A couple of them, of course, are going through the top level, but that's very easy, just through the software. If I'll change my maximum hole length to 20 meters now, you see that my holes are just limited to the top level. There are other ways to do that, but yeah, I'll just use this way right now, but there is a lot of other ways. You can use planes to limit where your holes go to. So there we go. We have pretty much our hose design done in here. Another very interesting feature is about the charging parameters. So if you take a look on the screen right now, I have some charging parameters. I'm not playing with them at this stage. I'll just leave as they are, but it's important to mention that the software creates all the charging for your stope. So your charging is done already when you generate your hose. So if you give the press OK now, that's it. Your hose is generated already. It's a little bit unbelievable how fast it is, but that's it. We have the final result on the screen already. Another feature that I'll just explore a little bit now is about how you can change your hose or how you can manipulate your rings and hose. So if you take a look on your right side of the screen on the second view, you can see a layout view. So if you need to change any of your hose, it's very easy. You have a couple of ways. So you can limit your hose, as probably you can see on your screen, changing your sweep angle. And that's just by the drag of a mouse button. You can change that. Another interesting feature is that if you go to the My Plan view on the far right side of the screen, on the top screen there, as I select through my rings, you see that on the three-dimensional view right in here, the plan just follows each one of the rings that I'm changing. So let's say if I get one of my rings, my last ring in there, I can change my azimuth. So I just changed my azimuth at the moment. And if you see all the screens, they are updated straight away online without a delay. If I have any issues in here, so right now I just changed the azimuth of one of my rings. And what I'll do, the next steps that, let's say that was a mistake. So as you can see on the left side, there is a table that contains all the information about my, my rings and also my holes at the bottom for each one of my rings. So a very easy way to change, I'll just change my, my azimuth manually. So I'll just type in 180.3, that's similar to the other rings. When I'll give it a yes, you see that the ring on the top just got back to the initial situation. So any of those holes in here or rings, you can change them manually on the screen. You can drag them around, but also you'll be able to change through a table. So if I get this hole here right in the middle that I just click and it got highlighted in yellow, it got highlighted as well at the bottom of my screen. So if I just change this whole length from 20 to 50 meters typing on my table, as soon as I click in, as you can see on the screen right now, this hole just becomes 50 meters long. Also very important is that our charging just follows the changing on the length. So that's a very important feature. Also in here, so as you're taking a look on the layout view, you have three different navigation menus in there. So right now I'm navigating through my holes. So I'll just go through quite fast. Let's say if I want to delete a hole, it's very simple. So just deleting a couple of holes for this ring. So if right now I want to include any new holes, just right click, add new hole, and you can drag your hole around. So as you can see, there is a green circle around my hole on the toe, and that represents pretty much my toe spacing that I pre-set up before. So that's very easy. Just by right click, you can add your new holes. Another interesting feature on this software as well is that I can change my charge. So right now I'm selecting the menu charging at the bottom, and I'll be able to actually drag and change my charging for each one of them. So right now I'm just playing a little bit with the charging in one of my stopes. So as you can see, it's very easy. It shows the distance on the screen as well. So the distance that you have for your toe and also how much color you can leave on your charging. You can also change your primers. So right now I just select the menu for the primers, and I can freely move my primers through each one of my holes. So that's very easy when your During Blast engineer is working. and is quite in a rush to generate reports for a Dream Blast personnel, let's say, you can do it very fast and generate reports very fast. So just go through another feature in here. I'll just go to reload my holes. I have all my holes on the screen right now, and let's say that I need to create a final plan for all of them. So if I just want to play a little bit with my charging and checking all of my holes, and I'll just change the minimum distance of charging near the collar. So I'll put 1.5 meter. That's actually I've taken into account that I'm using 89 mil holes. So when I give it apply for that, just change the charge for all of my holes. And if you take a look on the screen right now, you see that the collar left for each one of the charts is exactly 1.5 meters. So I have a tool in here that I can use as a measure tool, and you can see that I have 1.5 meter in there. So that's very powerful on the sense that you can create your charge plans very fast. So on the next step now, what you do, I'll just show you how easy it is to create a slot as well for my slot. So in this case, I'll just generate a new scenario in here, and that will be for my slot. So I'll just go and click on new. And for this one now, instead of use the main reference line, I'll just use the slot line. So just by the click of the slot line, you'll be able to see on the left screen that the rings itself, they changed already. So they are present where my slot's supposed to be. So now I need to, of course, apply some restrictions so then I have my slot through. So first of all, I'll go to my pattern parameters, and now instead of use 2.2 meters, I'll use a 1.5 meter burden for my my slot, and also because I want my holes to be parallel to each other, I'll use my toe spacing 1.5 meter as well. So by just changing that, if you take a look on the left side of the screen, my slot is almost completed. The last parameter that I'll change in here will be my minimum collar space. That'll put 1.5 meter as well, just to guarantee that the distance between my collars are square and let's say they match what's on the top on the toe spacing. So by changing that, you can see that it generates 3 holes for each ring. What's the ideal for this drive that's 5 by 5 meters. So when I give it OK, you see right on the screen that just pops up, you have all your holes, they are automatically on the screen with 3 holes per drive as it's supposed to be. So the next step now that I show is how easy it is to include a slot on my design. So it's very easy on this step. When you click on the menu on the top slot, for this one I have 3 different slots in here that I created before, but I'll just show you after that how easy it is. I just select one of them, 3 by 3 pattern. When I click in, there we go. The slot is in already. The only thing that really I'll need to do is perhaps delete 2 of the rings that are on the far side of this slot. So just by deleting those 2 rings, and if I go through my view on the left side, you see where my slot will be contained. It will be with this main area in there. So that's very easy. I can also just turn on the visibility for my other rings. So right now I will be able to see all my holes for both of projects, so the main rings and the slot rings as well. It's very easy. Another question that perhaps a lot of people would ask about is about how to dump holes. So that can be a nightmare sometimes, but with Aegis it's very easy. So if I take a look on my long section view on your right side of the screen, any of those holes, I can drag them and move them freely and create a dump for each one of them. So at this moment, what I'm doing, I just create like a dump for each one of my holes. So I can dump them. I can even move my burden around, as you can see. That's very easy. Everything in the software is very easy to manipulate. So if I'm not happy with my burden for each one of those rings, I can move them around. So I'm just adding a dump for each one of them to use as example. So just adding let's say that we have some sort of a slashing on those holes. So just adding some dump of them for the first 4 holes, and there we go. I have the dump is just done, and if you take a look on the screen on the left side, you see that as I changed my dump on the long section view, the 3-dimensional view updated itself very fast. Another feature in here, I'll just say delete my first ring in there, so then it looks more realistically. So I just turn on the visibility for my slot as well, and as you can see right now, you have your slot, and plus you have your rings in a dump position. That's very, very easy. I'd like to show as well a little bit about the database that Aegis has. So Aegis has a database that contains a register of your drilling machines, also the explosives, primers, detonators, and you can also register some supplies. So I'll just open the drill database. This one has a register of a couple of machines that are inbuilt with the software. They come with the software, but you can always register your own machine if you want to. This process is very easy. You would be able to register the dimensions, drill mass, also each single characteristic of your machine will be very easy to be registered in here. And for those characteristics, when you're doing your automatic design, the software will follow that and to create your holes. Also in here, you have your explosives database. So we have a couple of explosives on the screen, and I just show a couple of them. So you can register also your explosives, and yeah, as I mentioned, that's very easy, easy configuration to work. You can also register your supplies. So you have different ways or different database that you can work with, and that's a very, very interesting feature. The last feature now that I would want to show is about our report system. So just a second, I'll just stop in sharing for a moment. Just get back again. Okay, so with my last feature that I want to show today is about the report. I'll just open, I have like 3 reports in here that they were done before. So I'll just open the report number 3, let's say. When I open this report, you can see straight away on the screen, it's just showing like, I just put like a logo in there. It shows your rings. It shows also a lot of the data or information about each one of your rings. And also for each one of your rings, it shows information of your holes. So those reports, they are very easy to be changed, and you can configure as you wish. What we do, as you saw, just click on the report and generates reports for each single ring. So it generates from ring number 1 to ring 16. In this case, it's generated for the main rings. Now I'll just show how easy it is to create a report. So I'll just close that, and I'll go through a new report template. So we have a new report template on the screen. Just a couple of seconds. And what I'll do now is just starting by adding an image on the top that you could put like the logo of your company if you wish. Very easy. You just click on insert, put your box on the screen, and next thing you just select the address where is your image. In this case, put a data mine logo in there. The next step, I'll just get and show my ring view. So it's just about like a really drag and drop. So that's my ring view. It's very easy, as you can see. Also, I can always change my drawing scale. So if you take a look at the top, I have automatic at the moment, but I can move that and change. So it's very easy to change that. The next thing that I'll add in here would be a ring table. So as you can see, everything's a drop-down menu. I'll just click on that and just delimit the area where I want to show it. And it's just showing, there we go. And the next one that I just insert in there will be the ring properties. So the ring properties will give a lot of characteristics about of your rings. You can even get cost. If you have drilling, the drilling price for each one of your holes, depending on diameter, that's very easy to select that and change on your database. So that will show the drilling cost straight away on the screen. So what I'll do with this report right now, I'll just save that as report. I'll call it webinar. I'll just save that and then I'll close. When I click on report again, there is a new report template in here called webinar. By just clicking on that, it generates the report for all the rings. Also, I want you to remember that each one of those items here is very easy to manipulate. So on the right side of the screen, I can change my table in there. So at the moment, I have ID, length, and diameter. Let's say that I want to change on my report. I can even change the columns that I shown on the screen. So I just click in there, and I want to add a new column in there. And this new column, the number that what I want to show in there will be my collar position. And the collar position, I want to show my pivot offset. So I just click in there, and I'll call it L. Just put caps lock, LR column. So as you can see right now, I have the LR column, and just say that's just showing the pivot point position. So that's very easy to report. So reports are very easy. One last feature that I want to talk about is how to export your files. To export your files is very easy as well. So by just right-clicking on your scenario that you're working, so I'm working on the default scenario for my main rings. If I right-click in there, it shows the information here, so I can export all the holes to a file, export ring planes markers to a file, and just the pivot markers. So that's very easy to send your files to your survey department. And so it's not an issue at all. So when you click on that, there will be a couple of formats that you can export. So you can export for the data mine file. You can export to SERPAC, or even for DXF. That is it will be like a very easy format to work on any other softwares. So I believe that today I cover what all the information that I was to present to you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this presentation. I'll just get back now to our PowerPoint. So yeah, so I'd like to thank everybody that was present to this webinar presentation. And that was a pleasure for us to have you here. Any questions that you have at any stage, please don't hesitate to send me an email. My email address is on the screen right now. And also you have another contact in there that is Dini. So yeah, send us an email about what your thoughts about Aegis. And that'll be a pleasure to have a chat with you guys and have further discussions. So thank you very much. Have a great day, and see you next time. Thank you.